Hello friends and enemies, welcome to or back to Happy For Now. It's me, Isabel, here with a hot take video of authors I'm done reading. This is going to be for various reasons, whether it's things that they did to show up in Romancelandia, if it's just that I'm not vibing with their writing anymore. I've done some in the past where I talked about authors that's writings just don't work for me now. Maybe it's stilted now to me, or it just doesn't connect the same way it used to. It happens. This is normal. We all have authors we're done with. So if you don't like negative videos, this is probably not the video for you. I'm going to tell you that now. But I'll be back on Thursday with a less negative video for you, I promise. All right, let's dive in. So we're going to start with popular authors, because I think this is something where I see them wrecked a lot, and that's fine. Like, I am so happy for anyone who loves these authors or these books. Like, I'm happy for you. I personally, at least, have found myself burnt out on some of these authors and just not that interested at the end of the day anymore. So first up, we have, of course, unsurprisingly, probably is Rebecca Yarros. I enjoyed Fourth Wing when I read it the first time, and I, maybe if she nails that last book and I just hear nothing but rave reviews, would pick up the next two books. But I have zero interest in anything contemporary Rebecca Yarros has written. I have zero interest in continuing Fourth Wing currently, because I really don't know that she can nail the landing here. I think Fourth Wing sits as the, like, exception, not the rule for Red Tower books being enjoyable. I've not really enjoyed a lot of Red Tower titles. I think that Red Tower is just one of those publishers that for me is a no thank you these days, which sucks because they do come out with some beautiful editions of books. I just so far have found that I've not liked any of them, and you know what? I'm not gonna read things I don't enjoy always. Sometimes I will. There are times I will do projects, you know, but like I really do try to focus on reading the things I love and enjoy. So this, like, the Jennifer L. Armentrout series for me that was popular, and then people like got mad at like 3-4 books in. It's just a no thank you. I'm good. I'm gonna leave now before I'm disappointed, personally. Then we have Chloe Walsh. This series I see everywhere, and I know people go hard for the Taming series by Chloe Walsh. And she, for me, I just don't understand. Like, these books are so big. They're like 500-page YA romances. I personally don't want to read just a contemporary YA romance, which is what I gauge these to be. I've also heard they're really angsty and emotional, and while I like angsty and emotional books, I don't enjoy young adult angsty and emotional books. Like, that's not the kind of angsty emotional I'm looking for. And I also just, like, am off-put if people, and if there is sex in these books, like, not, like, if there's romance style sex scenes in this book, I'm going to be very off-put, because, like, if they're actually children, because that's YA, like, I'm uncomfortable. I don't know. Something in this series just does not appeal to me. Overall, just not for me. Again, I know people love them. I'm happy for you. This is just not for me. Next up is Elsie Silver. So I'm not going to say I'll never read a cowboy book, but I also am going to say that I am a very picky cowboy book reader. And I think there's just certain authors that don't appeal to me. So I could try another series by this author, but I know for sure I don't think I would ever read Chestnut Springs by Elsie Silver. I guess I'm not a cowboy girl. Ranches are stinky, and so is the rodeo, and I'm just not, I don't know. I don't want to think about that always. But I also just feel like sometimes, and I'm not saying this is what Elsie is doing, small town and stuff like this is used to just, like, bypass having to account for any, like, diversity in the world, which small towns do have diversity. I've lived in small towns. I've been, like, not all, but they do exist. But yeah, for me, like, a contemporary cowboy romance and the setup for these do not appeal to me. Her new series, which is like all single dads, I'm kind of tempted to try, but for now, until somebody really, really convinces me, like, tries to convince me to read them, I don't think Elsie Silver is for me. I just don't know that she writes the kind of books I want to read. Then we also have Lucy Score. So I have one more Lucy Score book I want to read. But after that, I'm done. I am cutting myself off after I read the third book in the Knockabout series, because I just want to know how that ends. But I've also heard it's disappointing. So another one where I just don't need 500-page contemporary romances from this author. They aren't the 500-page contemporary romances I want to read personally, so I'm just not going to pick them up anymore because why disappoint myself at the end of the day? Lucy's score for me hinges on the fact that almost every single one of her books is very, very long, and I don't find them nearly as engaging as I found longer titles by people like Mariana Zapata, Anna Wong, and non-contemporaries as engaging. So for me, that's just a no-go. All right, let's talk about some of the bad behavior ones. These have come up in Romancelandias. These have been just things I've seen and I'm just kind of off put by. M. Banu's Seed book, it sounds horrific. I read some reviews on this one and a couple things about it came across my FYP on TikTok and I was just like, ooh, I don't think I want to read you. And then her responses to criticism was really off-putting for me. People were pointing out issues of her book that related to the orcs in the book and the behavior of them towards the heroine as like things. And like she argued that it's like not dark romance because like just because there's dark things doesn't mean it's dark romance, which like yes but no. I don't know. I was just really off put about the whole entire situation personally, and I'll link to the reviews down below. And I read them. I read the reviews and I watched people talk about this book and I was like, I think I'm good. This is one that I can just sit out on. That's fine. But yeah, like I think telling people of color that racism isn't a thing in the book, like isn't present in the way she presented the characters of the orcs, is just like questionable. Like sometimes you gotta sit and listen. And that's a really important thing to do when you are called out for these things, is to sit and listen and not like rush to respond. Though I know the internet now creates this culture of rush to respond. Then we have Shell Rose, who I will not be reading because she bullied a reviewer and harassed them for posting an honest review. No, thank you. I personally, I don't post in-depth reviews, but I talk about books enough on the internet that I don't feel comfortable reading any author that enters review spaces and then also attacks reviewers. Sam Marino, I had a couple of her books on my TBR and swiftly threw them off because she was one of the authors that was on my TBR. The other ones involved in this situation I didn't have on my TBR that defended Tilly Cole and the KKK romance. That's just a no for me. I don't think you can defend that in the name of dark romance. I just don't think that counts, and I think it makes dark romance look really, really shitty to say it's fine because it's dark romance, you know? It's just not the thing to do. And then another one that might surprise some people. I had thought about reading these. I saw some people I know that loved them, which is Neva Altaj. I don't know how to say her name. Neva. This author plagiarized another author's books and continues to see great success. So that's really weird to me. I guess a lot of people don't know about it. I'm not sure. It happened a while ago, and it's not the first book in her series that's plagiarized. It's book 2 or 3, which she plagiarized it from Veronica Lancet. But then also, I don't think I'd read Veronica either, because some of the content in these books that I've read, I was like, I like a dark book, but I actually think I'm good. I actually think I'm good right now. So there's that. And then last but not least, the least surprising addition to this list probably, I'm not going to be reading any more Freydis Moon. Freydis Moon is 100% off my TBR. I have adjusted reviews on Goodreads. I think I have one more to do because it wouldn't let me do it the other day. But yeah, Freydis Moon immediately off the TBR or into the no thank you shelf, because I'm not going to support an author who has paraded around as things they are not just to try and get more accolades than what they deserve, and then also continue to pretend that this is a thing. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, those are the most recent additions to my no thank you list. Obviously non-comprehensive here, because this list is always evolving and growing. Things change also. Sometimes authors do make amends and change behaviors, and we can acknowledge that here, right? We're all human. Those are the ones I personally am avoiding for reasons. Let me know if you have any authors you've added to your list in the last year or so that either you just fell out of love with, or you found, did something that you just couldn't tolerate in the book or in the world. I would love to know. I always think it's really curious what drives us away from different things. And I would also be curious if anybody else is also on the no thank you to Red Tower books train now. I sure don't see myself picking any of them up. I actually canceled all my pre-orders. So yeah, there's that. And if you don't want to do any of that, you can leave me a sunshine emoji in the comments, because it is so sunny out still, and I am gonna go get in the pool as soon as this is done filming. So we'll do that. But yeah, you can do that in the comments. I'll have links to anything that you might want, I don't know, down below. I'll have links to my friend anywhere on the internet, and I will talk to y'all in just a few days. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions, we'll get away